closest finish in Indy history.
The 1992 Indianapolis 500 remains the closest finish in history. Amazingly, Canadian Scott Goodyear had fought his way forward from last on the grid to have a chance at the win. He battled with Al Unser Jr. for many laps in a fight that no one was really paying attention to and turned into a historic victory.
For the last 50 laps, it was Scott and I were going back and forth for second place, and no one really saw that because it was for second place. And it just happened to be that happened just like a lap and a half, 2 laps before Michael broke, that I was able to get by Scott. And so then that set up the finish.
Scott Goodyear still trying to catch him.
Goodyear was actually leading the race before the final caution period.
You know, previous to that, Al and I were changing positions leading up to the last restart before Michael fell out. And it just so happened that I got caught in traffic in turn 2, had to go down 2 extra gears, and I was so slow coming out of 2. I watched him come up from behind me in my mirrors. I ran him down to the grass as much as I could without making both of us crash, and then he got me going into 3, and then we go around maybe 2 more laps, and then the yellow comes out.
Now in the lead, Unser was concerned about how to stay in front of Goodyear for his first Indy 500 win.
It was about the same, to be honest, because Scott was just filling my mirrors. I was concentrating on him because I wanted to leave him, and at the same time, I didn't want to catch any lap traffic. So I wanted a clean track in front of me.
That race was determined, with Michael falling out, that race was determined by me getting held up in turn 2 with traffic.
The 2 cars crossed the line less than 1/10 of a second apart. Unser had claimed his coveted victory at Indianapolis. Goodyear fell 1 spot short.
The only thing I realized is that I lost. I finished second. And, you know, we went to Milwaukee the very next weekend like we used to back those in the 90s. And I still felt like I finished second. And so many people were excited about it. I mean, after the race here, I couldn't even leave this place. It was hours, people lining up for autographs and thought the race was terrific. I thought it was terrible.
We were so close across the checkered that I didn't raise my hand or nothing until I knew I had won, you know, and so it was after the start-finish line that I actually raised my hand in victory, and it was that close, and then all the emotions just hit you like a big tidal wave. It's so emotional. There's so much tradition here. For myself, Indy was life itself. You know, I put everything into the Indy 500. It was just a dream come true, you know. It was something I had been dreaming about since I watched my dad win in 1970, which I was 8 years old at that time. And so it was just, wow, it was huge.
I still get people, even when I'm in Canada, not even wrapped around race week, and I could be at a restaurant or getting gas or something like that. I remember that race, you know, and around here all the time, because I live in Indianapolis now, people say, I was there at that race. I was sitting in this particular seat. I watched it. Our family talks about it. You know, and Al and I see each other all the time. We talk about, we have fun with it. And if we're standing talking here, people come up and they have you sign stuff and get pictures taken with us because it means so much to them. I'm just amazed after 25 years, it's still the closest finish, to be honest with you. Crazy.
The 1992 race holds a special spot in history. It's also the perfect illustration of how the Indianapolis 500 writes a new, compelling, and often unexpected story each year. Todd Lewis, Sportsnet, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
And you can catch the 101st running of the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday morning. The race begins at 11 a.m. Eastern.